I just watched Fix, Sony Picture Animation's first R-rated movie. This is the same studio who gave us masterpieces for the whole family, like Surf's Up, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and this is their first time stepping out of that demographic and going into adult-exclusive territory. This movie was also directed by animation veteran Genndy Tartakovsky, aka the same man who gave us television classics like Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, and even recently an amazing adult animated series, Primal. So surely a man with a legendary track record like this, especially within the realm of adult animation, could create an amazing adult animated movie that doesn't just rely on the same old extensive swearing, sex jokes, and gross out humor, right?
One and only. Oh, Nana! How many times have I told you to stop, Nana?
Fix follows a dog named Bull, voiced by Adam Devine, who finds out that he is going to be neutered the following morning, so he decides to go out with his friends for one last hurrah with his testicles, while also struggling to confess his true feelings for his love interest Honey, voiced by Kathryn Hahn. Just by listening to that premise, you would probably guess that this movie is just another one of those, haha, it's an American animated movie, and that's not marketed towards kids and families, so we can just curse and make sex jokes nonstop, hurdy-dur, and sadly, you'd be right about that. That doesn't mean Fix has zero good qualities though, as there are a good few that keeps this experience from being completely awful. The animation, despite them doing a little too much, still looks pretty good for a straight-to-streaming film, as the characters do move fluently and the backgrounds look really cool, and I actually did like the chemistry between Bull and Honey, as it was pretty dang wholesome to watch at times, and it almost makes you to sympathize with Bull on his anxiety over something that's going to inevitably change his life. The voice acting is another aspect worthy of praise, as the cast does a pretty good job within their respective voices, and I especially loved Idris Elba's performance here, as his deliveries really came off as solid. There were also a few jokes that got a laugh out of me, such as when Bull and his friends are out in the city and they see a miserable little dog being carried in a purse, so they get it out of there and it has fun with them, and then only to immediately get hit by a car right afterwards, and then the dog says, "The cost of freedom." And there was also one scene where they're all at a dog park and one of them says, "This is a shit show," and then a Shih Tzu just randomly appears and says, "Excuse me, it's pronounced Shih Tzu." Those two in particular genuinely did get a laugh out of me. Unfortunately, that's where my praise for this movie ends, because all the good aspects I just talked about unfortunately get overshadowed by a lot of other aspects that end up making this movie look like it was made for edgy 12-year-old middle schoolers. The thing that brought down my experience was just how oversaturated the gross out humor was. For some reason, every time we see the back view of a dog, we have to see their closed butthole, and they do that at least 50 times in the movie from what I remember, and it just had me cringing every time. Or sometimes there would be gags where a dog eats his own shit, or this one moment where the Nana accidentally grabs the dog's penis and he says, "That's my dick," and it just made me really uncomfortable. I've never really been a fan of gross out humor in animation. Even in one of my favorite cartoons of all time, like South Park, the episodes I don't like commonly share that negative factor that leaves me disgusted and never makes me want to touch those episodes ever again. I'm fine with a little bit of gross out humor if it's used right, but when it's constantly overplayed throughout the entire movie, it just becomes unbearable, and I just start to feel uncomfortable, which isn't something I should feel when I watch anything. And most of the time, the movie just isn't funny in general. You just got the same exact excessive swearing, haha sex jokes, and yada yada yada. It's like all the stuff that is just feels like it's catered specifically for 12-year-olds, and no adult would or very little adults would really find this funny. And that's just Fixed in a nutshell. While I definitely understand some people's praises for it, and if you like the movie, that's fine, this is just my opinion, but I still would not recommend this movie to anyone despite wanting more 2D animation in the realm of movies. Heck, I know a lot of you probably don't know about it, but we just had a new theatrical Looney Tunes movie this year, and that didn't need to be raunchy or have gross out humor that much in order to be funny. That movie was hilarious, and I wish more people saw it, especially with how big of a franchise Looney Tunes is. Heck, the same studio has made actual good and mature family-friendly stories that are definitely more worth your time, unlike this middle school garbage. Heck, the same man who made this movie has made some of the most iconic and two most mature animated series ever made, which once again are all worth your time, unlike this movie. I really wish we would actually get good Western adult animated movies more in the light of Ralph Bakshi films and even Flea, which was nominated for an Oscar this decade, and less like Sausage Party and Fixed. 4 out of 10. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie, TV, and game analysis, and keep calm and let life carry you on.